you move to the next level. That is not how it is in politics. You need a very good blend of support, charisma, and backing and mentorship to actually, and your own willpower to make it anywhere in politics. And even then, somebody with the right genetic pool or right marrying into the right family will pick you to the post, and you will not be able to do anything about it. So these are all
but the odds are as much against men in that form as they are against women.
No,
the question is also, as you said, if we are at this level, it's not how we engage above us. That's the easier part. How to engage with the politicians is the easier part. How to engage with the straighter women below us and how to bring them up to a level so that they also have the same desires as all of us in terms of participation, in terms of actually coming out there and performing, in terms of taking on the system which is so dominated by men, and making a place for yourself. That engagement somewhere, is still not through. And it is that engagement that we need to concentrate.
And maybe, while I'm not very pro-reservation, one of the only things that sort of looks sort of meritorious in this argument is the fact, remember, in India, the women who are assembled in this hall today, including ourselves, we are still from a privileged section because we've had a right sort of education, we've had a sort of a family support. But remember, we're talking about women in a country which still has this very harsh reality where you have states where upper caste men still think of it as a right to go out and rape Dalit women, women from backward caste. I think it's giving a voice to those women that is a larger challenge where maybe a certain set of reservation would be able to give them that confidence to break the shackles of reluctance, family domination, and come out knowing that at least there will be somebody who will be there to support me if I do take that step. So I think we also need to keep in mind that larger population of women that we are talking about here.
Okay, let's get some more questions. Yes, ma'am, please.
What I've understood is basically there's safety in politics. Politics has become a very dirty game, and for women to tackle that dirt maybe is not in their physical capacities. So what they need is at their safety in a cleaner politics, we would have more women coming.
I'm sorry, man, there are no such assurances in the real world. In any field, there are no assurances. You have to go there and fight for
Hear it from
yourself.
someone who's been through the rough and tumble of politics. Yes, ma'am.
I'm saying that is a major hurdle which is coming up.
See, as
your
women
questions.
journalists, when we go out there and
We'll
cover
stick to the
political
questions,
rallies,
please.
you cannot ask for a secure atmosphere there.
Okay,
You face everything.
I think security is a problem in all fields, be it politics, be it journalism, be it any other business. I'm an advertising professional myself. So safety is an issue everywhere. Anyways, my question to the panel is, what kind of reservation do you recommend? Like in my case, I'm fully against this reservation in the seats, like there should be fixed seats for the women. Rather, I would prefer political party to give that percentage. Because, men are insecure about this. They are saying, today we give you 33% and you will be able to retain because we can fight on general seats. If I am fighting on a particular seat as a woman, then I will do such good work. I'll be able to re-elect myself from that particular seat. So, do we, lobby for the reservation on seats, or do we lobby for the reservation within the parties as far as seat distribution, ticket distribution is concerned?
Okay, just to let
I think that the one party that tried to engage with this question, both national parties have engaged with this question quite a bit. You had this democratization of Youth Congress and stuff, which Rahul Gandhi tried to do. But what Rajnath Singh did in his first tenure as party president, 2006 to 2009, was to make sure that there is 33% reservation in organizational posts. No, what that does is, very clearly, when you have just one Sushma Swaraj in a huge room full of the parliamentary board made up of men, and Sangh Parivar is an extremely patriarchal body, you have now, not at that parliamentary board level, but certainly in the mid-level and below, you do have at least some female faces and names. They can be trained, they can at least provide a face to some of them.
Happily give, like organization reservation they would happily give, but tickets they will not cross 10%.
But unless you make a mark in the organization, why would they give you a ticket?
I've engaged with politicians on this question. And the question, the bottom line for every politician is winnability. Now, if it's depend, because ultimately the Congress has to compete with the BJP has to compete with the Samajwadi Party has to compete with the BSP. So everybody is looking to maximize their number of seats. So which is why I'm saying that just talking about reservation doesn't get us anywhere. It has to be.
Navika, I'm working in rural area. We have people like Pradhan Patis. When I note down their name, who's the Gaon Pradhan? They said Kanta Devi. I said, you don't look like Kanta Devi. He said, no, I'm Pradhan Pati. My wife is at home. So we don't want that kind of reservation. So we don't want a term called MLA Pati or MP Pati. This is with 50% of reservation in Panchayati Raj.
You have to empower your women first.
They don't come out of their homes.
Okay, let's take some more questions, ma'am. Let's move here. Yes, ma'am, please.
One of the things that we keep hearing is, why don't we send women out, and why don't they come out and they should be trained? Here is a group of women, and there is a percentage of us who is educated, aware. How many of us really can go into politics, want to go into politics,
why not raise
have
hands?
the will to go into politics, will go into politics?
Some hands are
Why
going
don't
up.
some of you? So just see the number of. That's the small percentage. That's how low the percentage
certainly
is.
not 33%.
It's certainly not 33%. So what I'm just trying to say is, what is the first thing to do is what is holding us back, instead of also finding out what's wrong with the system. And I'm taking an analogy here with the corporate world. We keep talking about why aren't there women CEOs who are breaking the glass ceiling, but what's happening at the middle level? The girls are falling out of the workspace. In the middle, like you said, at the organizational level, if there are people, enough women there, maybe that will change. But why aren't women who are educated and aware wanting to get into it? Let's ask ourselves that. There are 3 or 4 who are involved here, which is wonderful. But let's ask ourselves that.
Okay, you made your point, ma'am. If I can have your questions.
Yeah, I would also appreciate that we're sitting at Ficky Flow and talking about women getting into politics. But as you mentioned, isn't it applauding that for the first time? I mean, I'm not hurting anybody's sentiments, but with Arvind Kejriwal making a point, for the first time you have educated outsiders getting into politics, which was never seen. Educated people like leaving an educated, good corporate package and getting into politics. So it is at least some light showing that yes, if you can create that pressure group, then other possibilities are also possible. Earlier you would have, nobody would ever imagine an educated outsider getting into politics.
The point that Navika made.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. What she's saying, I totally agree on that. Because second thing is the age factor also. It's very difficult to make understand at a particular age. So it's very difficult for them to make changes in politics, probably because they have their mindset, but I feel at particular age, a lack of qualification. Yes, definitely these 2 factors really matters in politics. I feel that.
See, I think that would be applicable to even men. If lack of qualification shows through. They're not educated, and it's not necessary that because you're educated, you have a positive mindset. Let me clarify that as well. A lot of so-called educated people can also have very sort of a stigmatized mindset.
Without any disrespect to him, Lalu Prasad has an LLB degree. No disrespect to him. I'm just saying, to get a formal degree is not so important. Just let her complete.
My question is the age factor also. As I said, at a particular age when they grow up, it's very difficult to change the mentality. For men or women, anybody. The age factor is very, very important. Kejriwal he's a young man. And I think he has brought a change, and people are following him because maybe he's very active and enthusiastic about things. Probably I feel that.
Please don't forget Anna, he's the one who started it. So he's very old. Anna was so
Yes,
old.
ma'am, please.
Now we want politicians to have a equal opportunity.
They do have the formal degrees. The formal degrees.
They should become a parliamentarian. They should have how to conduct education qualification to enter
I'm
politics.
sorry, only societal pressure brings that about.
And you got to reject your candidates then
You-
based on
we
that.
have
But if they don't have a certain set of
But
education,
so
they're
long
not
as we
going to
continue to vote for, Yadav hai to Yadav bhai, Jatav hai to Jatav bhai, Mussalman hai to Mussalman bhai, or you know, if
You know,
so
one
long
of our-
as we
in fact,
continue
we-
to vote like that,
One of the people
we'll
sitting in
accept.
the guys also wants to ask a question. please.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
I've been hearing all of you on other areas also. We've talked about power at the rate 49, and you've talked about the women reason why it is not happening, and we've talked about the manifestos. I would like your different views of all of you who are sitting here. What do you think is going to happen when the government comes to power? You're talking about power at the rate 49 and the women's. 6 months.
Well,
And why not?
You really want us to be astrologers, because on 16th of May, who is going to be in power is something that none of us know. The first question will be whether it will be a majority government, whether it will be a stable government. We're hoping that it will be, because this country clearly cannot afford instability. I mean, 10 years of non-governance and then 5 years of instability is not something we're looking at.
So the journalists would like a break after this long election.
Yeah, that's,
so let it get over, please.
that's a very selfish personal desire that it's a majority government. So